Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar titled The Value of Networking, How to Establish Your Professional Reputation. My name is Amy Gleason, and I manage career services for the University of California, Irvine Division of Continuing Education. Every month, I offer live Zoom workshops that are career related. And then those workshops are also recorded as webinars, and they are open to anyone who wants to access our website through career services. So let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. For those of you who may not be familiar with the Division of Continuing Education, or DCE as we call it, let me just share some information with you about our certificate programs. So in DCE, we offer over 65 certificate programs, and you can choose from hundreds of classes each quarter. Our training is practical and industry related and applicable, and your classes can be taken in online and virtual formats. University level instruction is done by industry experts, and we have an accredited UC approved curriculum. In addition, we have a team of corporate training, and that is available to you and your workplace. For today's workshop, I hope that you will learn the importance of networking now and throughout your career, and also come away with networking strategies. So as we begin, I want you to be thinking about what you are doing now to make connections. What networking strategies are you implementing right now, or have you in the past? And hopefully you'll come away today with more ideas for that. So I saw this quote a while ago that says, luck is a matter of preparation meeting opportunity. And I don't really believe that luck that plays a big part in really most of our lives, except for those lottery winners. They seem lucky, right? But generally speaking, our success is not based on luck. I think success is a matter of preparation, meeting opportunity. So I had to edit this quote a little bit. And this cannot be more true than when it comes to networking, because that's exactly what's happening. First of all, you must be prepared. There's a lot of preparation involved in so much of our career development, whether we're preparing a resume, we're preparing for our interview, or we're preparing to network. But in addition, with networking, preparation isn't enough. We also have to make sure that there is opportunity to be connecting to people, and we have to create those opportunities in most cases. So, do you know how important the ability to network really is? Why is networking important? Networking is a way to build relationships. Research suggests that networking is directly linked to career success, both in terms of salary growth as well as career satisfaction. For those in their early careers, networking can be a way to connect with mentors or potential employers. Networking later in the career can help you keep pace with changes in your industry, generate fresh ideas, and prepare you for leadership roles. Our very own Hank Blank here in Orange County is someone who I follow on LinkedIn. He is an expert in networking, and he says that networking is best when you don't need a job. So that's why in the opening slide about the objectives, I made the comment that networking is something that you're doing throughout the span of your career. It is not just for job search, when people tend to think that's when they need to be networking most, when in fact it's something that really should be integrated into all of your career development. A simple hello could lead to a million things. Networking begins with hello. It begins with taking that initiative, taking that step to say hello and introduce yourself. According to a study done by LinkedIn in 2017, 35% of participants said a casual conversation through LinkedIn messaging led to a new opportunity. Research suggests that networking is directly linked to career success, both in terms of salary growth as well as career satisfaction. And whenever possible, I include my sources so you can explore further any kind of data that I'm sharing with you. Among all the networking skills you can develop, the two most important by far are listening and asking questions. These two skills will impress new contacts and potential clients even more than your business statistics. Good listening validates the values of others and shows respect. So let's look at effective listening skills, which of course we know that we need not only when we're networking, not only in the workplace. It's something that we need to be reminded of with the people who are the closest to us in our lives as well. So how do we show effective listening skills? We, number one, maintain eye contact. We remove distractions so that we can be attentive and relaxed. Keep an open mind. Hold off on judgment. Wait and listen and try not to evaluate what you're hearing. Avoid interrupting or imposing solutions. So I think we've probably all seen that data on communication that says how many people, when they're in a conversation with someone, are waiting for their response. They're thinking about how am I going to respond next? It's human nature. It's a tendency we all have. We have to really be mindful about effective listening. And we have to make sure that we don't jump in and offer a solution. That might not be what they're looking for. We wait for pauses to ask clarifying questions and ask questions to ensure understanding. Give regular feedback and notice nonverbal cues. What is unsaid? That is effective listening. So what are some words to describe networking? I decided to include this because with the many people I have provided career coaching to over the years, I have seen a pattern or a common thread where there are people who really don't like that word networking. And if we were in a live workshop, which, as I mentioned, I offer every month, a different topic here in DCE, if this were a live workshop, I'd be asking you for interaction right now. I would be asking you to share, what comes to mind. What's the first word that comes to mind when you think of networking? And how does that make you feel? Is networking something that you're open to and that you enjoy, or does it make you nervous and stressed out? So here's some synonyms, some other ways to look at networking. It's just making contacts, mingle, meet, schmooze. Yes, there's an element of schmoozing at times. If you're talking to someone who is in a position at a place that you'd love to work, you would want to say something complimentary about that business model, their mission statement, something about their company that you find appealing, right? That's not inauthentic. It is a bit of a schmooze, but you definitely want to be prepared with what are the strengths that attract you to this particular field or this company. It's just meeting people. It's circulating. So it's easy in a networking environment to find one person and just talk to them. That feels safe, but it isn't really networking. So challenging yourself to talk to at least 2 to 3, 3 to 5. You set the goal, whatever it is for you. How many people do you want to talk to in this networking event? Exchanging business cards. Now that's interesting. I often say that LinkedIn is today's business card. I don't really think business cards are becoming a bit obsolete. Some people use them, and that's fine. I still have some, and someone just asked me for one recently, so it's good to have them, but it's really more common now for people to meet somewhere. And I've been in situations where I just watch them immediately get on their phone and say, I'd like to connect with you. I personally, when I meet anyone here on campus, anyone in a networking environment, in any professional environment, I come back to the office and I search for them on LinkedIn, and then I send a nice note that it was nice to meet them and I'd like to stay connected, and I do it that way, right? So LinkedIn is today's business card in many ways. And you see, connecting on LinkedIn is just another way of networking, and it's one of the strongest forms of networking. Rubbing elbows, talking shop, talking industry. What is it that you all do that you have in common? It starts with just introducing yourself. It can result in friendships, and it's just to associate. So I'm just trying to convey different ways to look at this word networking so that it doesn't feel so pressure filled. It's just really making connections and keeping those connections. That's important too. So I do agree with this. If you're not networking, you're not working. The world of work is so different now. In fact, I think we're experiencing a work revolution. Job search has changed tremendously over the decades. You cannot be doing any of this in isolation anymore. It is essential to create a community of professionals and partners you're interacting with. So here's a little brainstorm for you. Again, if we were in a live workshop, I would ask you to either respond on camera or put a note in the chat. So what are the ways that networking happens? And remember, networking happens anywhere, anytime. And always be prepared with your elevator pitch. No matter where you go, even in a social situation, you're sharing what it is that you're doing, what you're good at, what you're passionate about, what you're seeking, especially if you're in job search. People love to help people get jobs, but they can't help you if they don't know specifically what you want. So are you real clear and specific when you tell people what kind of a position you're seeking? But just take a few moments right now. You can put this on pause and make some notes if you want. Where have you seen networking happen, whether professionally or socially? Try to brainstorm a list of all the places and all the different kinds of settings where you see networking happen. And after you do that, I would like you to be thinking and writing, make a list of the strategies that you are using now or that you have used to build connections and to expand your network. So the benefit of a live workshop is that people get to share their ideas and you get to hear other ideas as well, in addition to what I have on my slides. So it's a great conversation to have with colleagues as well. Ask them, what are your networking strategies? And remember the key networking question. It's an open-ended question, not a closed-ended question. Who do you know who? So I want you to think about what does that question mean for you? If you are in a situation, if you're at a networking event, even if you're at a social event, and you're seeking whatever it is, you're seeking mentors, you're seeking connections, you're seeking a job, whatever your objective is, how would you complete that question? Who do you know who hires new paralegals in their law firm? Who do you know who manages project management in Orange County? Whatever it is you're seeking, ask that open-ended question, because remember, just like on LinkedIn, your connections are not just about you and your connection. It's about all of their connections, the exponential opportunity that comes from talking to people who, and someone can say, well, yeah, my brother actually is an attorney, and I know they hire paralegals. Would you like to talk to him? That's how it works. So this graphic is something that I think is helpful, even though you might not be able to see it all that well. But it's also about how to explore careers by talking to people. So remember, networking is not just for job search, it's also for career changers. I mean, many of our learners in DCE here are making career changes, and they have education, they have experience, but they're moving into a whole new world where they need to learn from other professionals. What advice do I need? What can you share with me? So networking is really just about opening doors for knowledge, information, contacts, leads, all of those things. You can be networking online. And again, you'll see that LinkedIn is the most important way, really, to network online. You have other options too. You have your professional organizations. You have networking events that happen in communities. You can be doing things in person. Volunteering is a super networking strategy in addition to contributing to your community. You're always making connections when you're volunteering with an organization. You can attend live events that might be happening in your community. Okay, so looking around, job fairs, networking events, just reaching out to people and asking for an informational interview. Can we have a chat? I'm upskilling, I'm making a career change. I'd love to get some career advice from you. Okay. So what is strategic networking? So yeah, you want to have a plan for this and be strategic. In a business context, networking is the process of creating mutually beneficial working relationships with colleagues or individuals with the goal of learning from others' experiences that can be used to develop knowledge and open future business opportunities. So I should underline the words mutually beneficial working relationship. Remember that networking isn't just about what do I need right now? I better get some information, I better talk to people. It's also about how can I help people? Who can I help raise up? Who can I reach out to and offer my assistance as a mentor? That's all networking. The benefits of networking are that you can begin building business connections, learn new ideas, and even access free career advice and job opportunities. So let me share 5 tips for successful networking. Number 1, develop your professional social media presence. Build your personal brand to enable networking opportunities on social media channels such as LinkedIn. Instagram has business and professional or creator accounts, and meetup.com. As of 2025, LinkedIn has reached 250 million users in the United States, solidifying its position as the leading professional networking platform in the country. Think about how things have changed in the world of work. We don't have want ads anymore. We do have campus career fairs, but in DCE, for example, our employers are looking for people like our learners who are not new grads generally. They have degrees already. They have experience. They are making a career change or they're upskilling. So where else are they going to look? LinkedIn is the platform, the most significant platform. If you're not there, you're missing opportunities. I have a workshop and a webinar called The Power of LinkedIn. I have data there that shows almost 100% of employers use LinkedIn to find talent. That's where they're searching. I want to give a plug for meetup.com. If you're not aware or familiar with it, I really encourage you to research that. This is such an excellent opportunity for people, especially if you're new in a community and you don't know people, but it's a great way to find people who have common interests, recreational, social, arts, everything under the sun. There's hundreds of meetups, and they're international. Remember, networking happens everywhere all the time. So imagine you're on a hike with your hiking meetup. There's a bajillion hiking meetups, especially in our beautiful Southern California. What are the two questions that Americans tend to ask when they meet someone for the first time? Where are you from? And what do you do? So even if you're hiking along at Crystal Cove and you're with strangers, because everyone who comes to meetup, there are always people who come the first time and don't know anyone. You're walking along with a group of 2 or 3 people, and the question comes up, what do you do? You're networking right now. That's it. What's your elevator pitch? It doesn't have to sound stifled and formal. What is it you want people to know about you professionally? So these are great resources for you, and they're important. Number 2, attend networking events and webinars. At these events, like-minded professionals come together to share knowledge and build connections with other industry experts. For your attendance to be the most successful, find networking events based on your location, your industry, and your interests. So again, you can just Google networking events near me. Meetup.com has lots of business related meetups, even though it's also social and recreational. Connect with new contacts on social media. After you've returned from your in-person or virtual networking event and met some key contacts, it's time to connect with them via your professional social media profiles. Be yourself. Don't try to sell anything, as this will make them reluctant to connect with you. And you can approach them for anything other than making the immediate connection much further down the line when you've properly developed a mutual business relationship. Number 4, don't forget about your internal network. It's important to include networking with those you work with on a day-to-day basis, or others who are also employed by the same company as you. These may be future or coworkers if you're going to make a move. But again, remember, everyone knows other people. You want to connect with people because you're going to benefit from not only that connection, but from their connections as well. To successfully network with your immediate and wider team, make sure you are visible at work events to get to know people on a personal level. Regularly showcase the great work you and the team are doing, or come together for brainstorming and sharing ideas. Number 5, stay in touch with your network. It's important to stay connected with your connections to stand out from the crowd and ensure they remain useful contacts for many years to come. And Hank Blank says, good networkers stay in touch. Poor networkers reach out when they want something. It's not hard to maintain that contact, especially when LinkedIn gives you all sorts of prompts. That's why being active on LinkedIn is important. It gives you updates of your colleagues' anniversaries, their accomplishments. You also have the opportunity to share yours. A recent example that I just had was a student who reached out to me in a panic because they needed a letter of recommendation. They actually needed 2 letters of recommendation, and they needed them in about 2 days. And I told them that's not enough notice to ask someone. If you're going to ask for letters of recommendation or references, you need to give notice. You need to share the job description of the position that they might get called on, and you need to be respectful and give people time. This is an example of why it's important to stay in touch with your connections so that you can keep them updated as you go along. When you're applying for jobs, that's when you ask, would you be willing to be a recommendation for me if I need one? If they haven't talked to you in 2 years, if you have had no contact, that makes it a little awkward. So be strategic with your networking and keep in touch with your contacts. So regarding networking via LinkedIn, on my DCE Career Workshop, it's a recorded webinar. It's called The Power of LinkedIn. This is taken from that. So did you know that 98% of recruiters and 85% of hiring managers currently use LinkedIn to find candidates? LinkedIn is the most important online tool for a job, for finding a job today. And many people have a LinkedIn profile, but do not know how to maximize the power of LinkedIn. That is the premise of my workshop, not how to create a LinkedIn profile, but to use it to your benefit. It's being heavily underutilized by many people. So getting back to those 5 tips, I want to expand on these ways to network using LinkedIn groups and professional organizations. So again, if we were live, I'd be asking you to share if you're aware of your professional organizations in your field and how many of you are a member. Have you joined a professional organization for your industry? If you are enrolled as a student, I highly suggest you join now. Why? Because the membership is much lower when you're a student. It goes up when you are considered a professional. Whether you're a student or not, having membership in a professional organization is something that you want to include on your resume and your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn even has a section called Professional Organizations. You're showing employers that you are invested in your field, that you're staying current on the trends, that you value professional development. Professional organizations have job boards in many cases. They have events. So I recommend if you join a professional organization, many of them have national chapters, but I suggest that you join a local chapter so that when they have events, you can attend, you can volunteer. It's super networking. It's supercharged networking. You're now part of that community, that network community, and you now can reach out to members and ask for career advice, ask for job leads, things like that. If you join a professional organization, you can also follow them on LinkedIn. If you don't join a professional organization, you can follow them on LinkedIn. Okay? It's best to have a membership, but if that's not feasible for you right now, follow them. Look them up on LinkedIn and follow them. They often post really valuable, useful kinds of resources and career advice. And who are the influencers in your field? Follow them too. Is there a book author that wrote like one of your favorite textbook that you would like to find on LinkedIn? Is there someone you know who's an expert in your field? Follow them. Learn from them. In addition to professional organizations that you can be following on LinkedIn and joining, there are also LinkedIn groups. Okay, so these are like hubs. And it's a place for professionals in the same industry or with similar interests to share content, find answers, post and view jobs, make business contacts, and establish themselves as industry experts. So you can just go to your LinkedIn profile, and in the search bar where there is groups, search for groups related to your professional interests or even your personal interests. And there you're creating a new community, a new network. Okay, and there are myths to networking. And I'd like to share these. Make sure you don't have any of these in your head. So 5 myths about networking. Number 1, it's only for extroverts. I'm an introvert, so I don't do that. They even have books on this. This is a big topic. They have books on networking for introverts. You can probably follow, there's probably a group on LinkedIn. I haven't looked, but I wouldn't be surprised. So remember the earlier slide? It's just connecting. It's just meeting people. It's just introducing yourself. You can do it. Introverts can also do the majority of their networking online if they are not comfortable with being in a face-to-face situation. Number 2 myth is done when all the real work is done. Like, I'll get to that later. I got a lot to do. I got my resume, I got my cover letter, I got to fix my LinkedIn, I got all these other things I need to do. No. Networking begins today. Who do you need to add to your network right now when this webinar is over? Who are 5 people you can reach out to that you used to work with or you used to work for or in your internal network? You always send a note. You can create a little template. I'm updating my LinkedIn profile and I'd love to be connected with you. Okay? Don't wait. Number 3, it's only about politics and getting ahead. That won't work. That isn't what networking is all about. Remember, it's a reciprocal relationship where people are helping each other with resources and contacts and genuinely being supportive. It's not about politics and getting ahead. If it is, it's not working. That's not networking. Number 4, similar to number 3, it is insincere and manipulative. No, I mean, if you don't act insincere or manipulative, that's not what networking is about. And number 5, it is about how many contacts you have. Oh yes, I need to add a whole bunch of contacts. I need to accept every single invitation that comes my way. No, be strategic. Think about who you want to be connected with. If people contact you to ask you to connect and you look at their profile first before you decide if you don't know them, and you ask yourself, what is the benefit to me and to that person for joining, okay, or for connecting? You don't have to connect with everyone. Be strategic, but also brainstorm, who can I be connected with that I'm not? So one excellent way to engage with another professional and get career advice is called an informational interview. And this is a very common practice. You can Google it and find information on it. This is where you find alumni and community members in various fields, and you can conduct an informational interview. You basically ask them about their own career path. What did they study? Is there a certain degree required for this field? What do they recommend for someone looking to work in this field? I'm making a career transition. I have all this excellent experience, but I'm trying to leverage my transferable skills. What transferable skills would you say I need in this industry? You can find a whole list of questions that can guide you, and you basically would request like a 20 to 30-minute meeting with a professional. People love to give advice. It's a compliment to be asked, can I get some career advice from you? So I really encourage you to think of someone after this webinar and reach out and request an informational interview. And remember that key networking question, who do you know who? Networking is marketing. You're marketing yourself, your uniqueness, and what you stand for. So think about how you will integrate it into your daily professional life. And I thank you for attending. Our website for CAN, which is the Career Advancement Network, is below. And also you can find it on the BCE main website under Career Services. So I thank you all for attending and hope to see you maybe at a live workshop in the future. All right, everyone, you take care.